VanDerwerker with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. I am here with Michelle Guilbeau from Guilbeau Insurance Agency. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So tell me a little bit about your business.
I'm an independent insurance agency that works with multiple insurance companies to give clients an option, more than just one company. So I work with roughly 11 insurance companies.
Okay.
So I have different options for different situations, because nobody's situation is the same.
That's for sure. The case, yeah,
Yes.
for sure. What made you get into the insurance industry?
I don't think anybody ever decides to go into insurance unless you're actually in a family that does it.
Okay.
I started out in as an office manager and bookkeeper for an insurance agent in Rotterdam in 1988, a couple of years out of high school.
Okay.
And kind of got thrown into it, and I actually really liked it. It was challenging, it was interesting, and I love people.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my license, and I did in 1988, and I started working for him, and then from there it just kind of morphed.
Yeah, as it does.
Exactly.
As it does. So yeah, I mean, it's about helping people and, you know, like you said, giving them options, making sure that they're taken care of, and, you know, that they have the
Educating
best-
them.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's insurance is very confusing for people, and it's nice
Sure
to be
is.
able to have a conversation with somebody and face to face. And
Right.
you know, I always tell my clients, no question is stupid. I learn something new in this business every single day.
Yeah.
Which is part of why I love it so much, because it's ever changing.
Yeah, so it's
Especially
not the
in
same
New York.
Yeah, right. You know, yeah, people think of insurance as not that interesting or sometimes not that exciting, but, you know, as the new regulations come out or as new things come up, you know, new options, new opportunities,
Right.
those kinds of things. So
Yeah.
great. So how was it kind of when you first started? It's hard to start your own business. So
It's very challenging. Excuse me. I was a co-owner in an insurance agency in Burnt Hills, right on Route 50.
okay.
And my partner and I had different ideas of the direction. He was a little older than I was and wanted to retire, and the direction we just didn't agree. So we decided to part ways, and I said, okay, I'm going to find a new spot. And I thought about for a while maybe just going to work for another agency or an insurance company, and my clients just kept popping in my head saying, please don't, please don't.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to do this. So February 24th, 2020, I opened my office here at 35 Saratoga Road in the Pedrick's Garden Center. And shortly after I opened my office, COVID hit and I was shut down.
Yeah.
You know, the only downside was my clients couldn't actually come into the office, but I was actually here every single day.
Yeah.
Doing calls and meeting customers at a 6-foot distance, masks, and all that good stuff.
Sure.
But
Sure. So you made it work.
it was challenging. It
Yeah,
really was.
for
But
sure.
you know, sometimes you think, what were they thinking?
Right.
But I have a very
Yeah.
loyal client base. I have some customers that have literally been with me since the 1990s.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that makes me feel really good, and they are very they're raving fans. They refer me clients, and it's a really nice feeling.
Yeah.
And they're not just customers; they're family.
Right. Well, yeah. Once you build that trust level, and they know that you're not going to steer them in the wrong direction, then they definitely want to stick with that.
Right.
As long as they can. So
Yeah.
great. What is something that people don't know about the insurance industry?
Oh, what they don't know. Cheap is not always better. A lot of times I see a lot of people come in with the lowest insurance you can get in New York, which is very dangerous. And to just bring that up to protect your financial stability is pittance. It's minimal. It's just, you got to do your research. Have somebody you can count on to help you, or to tell you, no, don't do that, or don't do this. And
Well, and consequently, it's not about having way too much insurance either.
Correct.
You want the right amount of insurance
Exactly.
to what's gonna benefit you and be the best choice for you.
Right,
which
and
is why
protect
it's so
you, and
individualized,
you know, you have major purchases financially, your car, your house, you wanna make sure you're protected in the event that something bad happens,
Sure.
and you pray that it never does.
Exactly. The thing you have to have, but you hope you never have to use.
Exactly, you hope you never have to use it.
Right. What goals do you have over the next year or so?
Well, to grow my client base more, to get more out in the community now that things are opening up more with hopefully the end of the COVID. We're planning on starting a newsletter, maybe doing a YouTube channel,
Okay.
if I can get acclimated to being in front of the camera,
Yeah.
and a blog,
Yeah.
and just doing a lot more in the community to get out there and do some volunteering and stuff.
Because I think it is a big component is the education.
Yes.
You know, letting people know that there are different options, there are different products. You need to be with somebody who knows how to navigate that world.
Right.
You know, to make sure that they're getting the best that they can get.
Yes.
Yeah. So what made you kind of open up your shop in Glenville?
Well, I moved to Glenville from Rotterdam in 2010. My husband and I and our Yorkie, and we had a yellow lab at the time. And I said, you know, I love Glenville. I think it's a really awesome town. We live down the street from Hewitt's, and I said, I'll just look for a place in Glenville. And Chris Ketzley, the supervisor, was great, and the community here is great. It's a small town feel, but with big city options. You know, it's
Right.
I always kid that I don't even have to leave the Route 50 corridor. Everything is right here.
Yeah.
Everything, you know.
Yeah. But you go 2 blocks over from the Route 50 corridor, and now you're in farmland.
Yeah,
So it's
yes,
like you
yes.
can be with the grass and, you know, in the suburbs, if you will, and then you kind of like have the city right next to you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we moved here in 2010, and then in 2020 is when I found this place. Actually, I was coming here to buy vegetables and flowers,
Yeah.
and I saw the for rent sign, and it was just meant to be.
Yeah,
it was perfect,
Yeah.
and the office is adorable, and
It is, yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah, it's a great little place.
Makes it fun to come to work every morning. Yeah.
Not a lot of people can say that.
Yeah.
So that's impressive that you can
Thank
do that.
you.
Any favorite areas that you like to frequent in Glenville, restaurants or stores?
I love the Speckled Hen. She just has a new shop open, and it's amazing. I also I really like Indian Meadows. I like Maxon's Grill. Carm's is really great. So, I mean, I'm not that far from being in Glenville. Before, like I said, I was in Rotterdam, so
Yeah.
I would have to drive out to Route 50 anyway every day. So,
Sure.
and I like the changes that have come. I mean, it's
Yeah.
growing, but not to where it's too overwhelming.
Right.
Like some towns.
And why do you think it's important to benefit local businesses and to shop local?
We need to keep our small businesses going. We need that. We need that kind of options in the area, and it's nice to be able to say, you know, I'm a little person, and I'm not one of these big conglomerates, and I can make
Sure.
it. And
Yeah.
you know, and people like that. It's more personable, I think. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You can tell if you go into a little shop and you go into like a box store per se.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you might pay a little more for the local goods, but they're benefiting the
Right.
people that live here, and the money stays in the community,
Exactly.
which is important. And especially with the pandemic, we know how important it is to support the local businesses so that they can
Absolutely.
stay open, because they don't have the luxury of, you know, money coming in from other areas.
Right. And it was difficult for a lot of the small businesses. You know,
Sure.
thankfully the town of Glenville, they really did step up to help the small businesses, and they do that
Mm.
constantly. And that's something that, you know, gets overlooked, I think, a lot of times.
For sure. So what do you like to do when you're not working?
I like to garden. I like to hang out in my yard. We have 2 acres in Glenville, which is really unheard of.
Yeah.
And I love to crochet and cross stitch, actually, which most people don't know.
Yeah.
They think I'm this, tough exterior person, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, most people don't think of insurance agents as creative kinds of
Yes,
people.
exactly.
So it's good to know that you can be a little bit of both.
And I love to hang out with my mom. So, my mom and I are very close. She comes here and she decorates my front window for the seasons, and she kind of helps me out, and it's nice.
Yeah. Nice. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me, Michelle
my
Guilbeau
gosh,
from
thank
Guilbeau
you.
Insurance Agency, and I'm Tina VanDerwerker with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.